The coronavirus pandemic continues with no end in sight. There's no plan to reopen the United States. The president has thrown out a Hail Mary to the states. Do what you want. That's not exactly presidential leadership, I might add. He doesn't have the authority to order them to do anything, but he needs to be stronger and get the country back to work. At the same time, Nancy Pelosi and her rabidly leftist Democrats are blocking any new infusion into the Paycheck Protection Program. Businesses are collapsing. People are going under. No one knows, frankly, what's going on. It's a terrible, terrible situation. And the only news out there other than that is Roger Stone going on Fox News claiming that he's going to die if he has to go to prison, which is clearly false. Now, even this judge, Amy Berman Jackson's probably not going to make him report in the next 2 weeks. He'll be able to take an appeal. He will surely lose that appeal in any event because he presented no witnesses at trial, didn't take the stand himself, had little to no evidentiary evidence. And for him to claim that that jury was tainted, obviously all juries in the District of Columbia are tainted. And you have to remember that neither he nor at his request, his lawyers asked for a change of venue, nor did they do an adequate background search of the jurors, as the judge pointed out. So he has no chance of winning this case. And it would be a big mistake for the president to pardon him. If the president feels badly and feels some indignation, which he should, at the witch hunt investigations and the impeachment, as our justice system has totally broken down and become even more corrupt, then he cannot allow someone, just because that's his former confidant and consultant and friend, to get off scot-free when he lies under oath, threatens witnesses, and obstructs justice. That does not send a positive message. And if he decides to pardon Roger Stone, that will cost him votes in what's going to be a very close presidential election. There are a lot of independents out there that don't like Stone, that know that he's a self-styled dirty trickster, and that he's someone, frankly, if you do the crime, you should do the time. Now, he's not going to have to serve 40 months in all likelihood. He'll probably be let out in a year to 18 months. So let him go to some minimum security prison and think over how he's behaved all these years. Because in addition to being convicted on 7 felony counts, he viciously defamed my client, Jerry Corsi. He defamed me. I took his deposition. You can see the real Roger Stone at LarryKlayman.com. Go watch it. You'll see what we're talking about. And you'll see that it damaged me and Corsi, and that's why I put it up on the website to try to mitigate that damage, because people don't understand. And this raises another problem. And this is why you have to cut through all of the smoke and mirrors in the coronavirus pandemic and crisis, because the cable networks are profiting from this hand over fist. The death charts, first used by Fox News to boost its ratings, to scare the hell out of people, to bring them back to watch, waiting for the world to end, was then followed by CNN and MSNBC and CNBC, the cables. They're making money hand over fist. And that's why we need some real leadership here. We've seen leadership, and I commend the president for what he's done so far, but he's got to step it up even more, because there's so much confusion that we don't know what's happening. And I have to ask, why is he still bowing down to the president of China and the Chinese Politburo? No mention's being made of how to pay for the damage that's been caused. Yet it was Freedom Watch who had to bring a class action in Dallas, Texas, and later in Jerusalem, Israel, and soon to be in many other countries around the world, to have the Chinese pay. It was Freedom Watch who brought a criminal complaint in The Hague, Holland, and we've supplemented it recently with new information. We now know that the virus emanated from a laboratory in Wuhan, China, a laboratory used, not coincidentally, to produce bioweapons, which is illegal under international law, and therefore China has no immunity from suit. And why do we have to listen to senators like Tom Cotton, who get out there and grandstand, we're going to remove immunity for China? Well, you know what? The Democrats aren't going to go for that. China's their hero. Mao is one of their great leaders, in world history. You can forget about that. But why isn't Cotton supporting what Freudian slip, because Judicial Watch no longer does these things since I've been gone. Freedom Watch. Why aren't they supporting their lawsuits? Why does Fox have a news blackout over what we have done? because they've had issues with Larry Klayman and his clients in the past. You're supposed to report all the news, not just that which you want to report, not to be vindictive. And that's why we have a combination of factors right now where the American people need to see the truth. They need to take action. They need not to be sunshine patriots and summer soldiers. They need not to be do-nothing guests on Hannity and not to be entertained. So put the martinis down, put the beer down, put the Diet Coke down if you're not someone who drinks alcohol, put the crackers and cheese down, put the popcorn down, get up off the couch and join Freedom Watch, because we're actually doing something. We're holding the Chinese accountable, the communist Chinese, not the Chinese people. They're good people. They've been enslaved. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. Support our cause. You can find this podcast on Roku, on Amazon Fire, on Patreon, on Spotify, on Twitter, on Facebook. Share it. Get the word out. Send the clarion call. Rise up. Do it for yourself and do it for your family. Go to freedomwatchusa.org. Sign up for our class actions. Contribute with tax-deductible contributions. What we're doing is expensive. I need to bring in other lawyers to handle all these plaintiffs. And also the case in The Hague, Holland, the criminal case. And stay safe and pray to God. God's with us, but he helps those that help themselves. Until tomorrow, God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. God bless my family, American people, and the people of the world. We're all in it together. I'll be back tomorrow with another edition of our special podcast of Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. Thank you for listening to me.